Okay, I know that it's April 5th, but I think I'm finally ready to process January. Um, I feel like I just keep finding more and more things to want to spend on. So instead of looking at West Elm or another website for a hundredth time and thinking about what I want to buy, I'm just going to remind myself of what I've already bought. And so I'm going to see what I did with $5,836.01 of my January income. Majority of that is my salary, like always. And then right now, or currently in January, I had a roommate. And at that time, their portion of the bills was $500. And it was my birthday month. So I did get $570 worth of cash. They know that I prefer cash to any sort of physical gift. So I really appreciate that they respect not cluttering up my house and just letting me spend money the way that I want to. Beyond that is nearly $148 on my high interest savings account and then $16 of cash back. Investing was probably the most exciting part of January because I decided to pull $7,000 from my emergency fund to just go ahead and max out my 2024 Roth IRA all on January 1st. I was nervous to have less cash in my savings, but honestly, I don't even notice the difference in my account now. It just doesn't even feel like I spent it, so that I'm glad that I did. I didn't spend it. I invested it, I guess. But a weird thing happened where I switched my health plan, but my work didn't register in time, so they still dedicated $160 to my HSA. And then before they switched it all over to my 401k, I put $462 in my 401k. So it was an investment month like I've never had before, probably never will have again this year. So I invested $7,622 in January, which made up almost 65% of my total outflows. Of course, taking it out of savings puts me, very negative in savings. So I left January with $5,871.26 less than I started it off with. You'd think I would be negative $7,000 or more because in my month ahead, I usually try to zero it out and it was actually negative 381.97. But in January, I still put $1,000 towards my 2025 Roth IRA, most of my birthday money. I put 210.71 towards technology because I just wanted to beef it up a little bit before I bought my iPad, which in February I did. I'm very happy with it. And then I put more towards treatments because I wanted to prioritize getting laser hair removal, which I did commit to in March. So it is less in savings, and I didn't replenish every single fund that I necessarily wanted to, but I am putting more towards goals that I have been thinking about for a long time. And whenever I'm negative in savings, it does not show in this pie chart. A very small percentage, 0.3%, goes to my debt because I pay my credit card off every month and I never actually intentionally assign money there. But YNAB figures out the credit card feature and it assigns on its own or whatever. In the total, it was 40.71. And then spending was 35%, which was $4,143.55. On the whole of the month, I had budgeted $3,855 just about, but I spent $4,144, which is $289 over budget. But when you get more, or personally, when I get more, I spend more because I definitely normally do not get close to $6,000 a month. That is definitely an outlier for me. I spent $2,463.55 on home care, most of which are my housing bills. I remember when my bills used to be $1,400 a month, but every company I've had since COVID has raised their prices by 15 to 20%, often raising my bill by $20 every 6 months to a year. So everything just keeps going up and up and up. I spent $430 on durables because my fridge broke down again in September of 2023, and I had ordered a new one in 2024, but I needed a little fridge until it got shipped out, and that was $270.61. Now that my new fridge is here, the full fridge, I don't even use my mini fridge, and I'd actually rather have a full mini freezer to store meats and stuff. but it served its purpose. I spent 129.88 on a pressure washer, and I use it all the time, like seriously, maybe once a week. The first time took a really long time because I was working on my patio concrete, but the difference was incredible. My dogs obviously use the outside to go to the bathroom, and it makes it very easy to spray their mess away, which is not a use case I had thought of when I bought it, but I really cannot recommend a power washer enough. The other thing I bought for it was like some special pressure washer degreasing soap because I don't know why, but my patios have like this weird green carpet on top of the concrete, which I would love to get rid of. I'm like, what were you thinking putting carpet outside? But it is what it is. And so I bought that degreaser to like keep that carpet clean. Maintenance, I spent 270.63 on pest control. I have been dealing with German roaches for a little bit. I don't like to get into it because even though I'm actually not seeing them now, it still makes me cry like thinking about it. I had never had that problem in this house ever, and it was just so paralyzing and shameful, and like it made me feel so awful. And I'm worried that they're just like, I don't know, raising their armies and gonna overtake me or something. Like I just hate bugs, and it's expensive too. They're expensive treatments. And it's not like I can just pick up and move because I own this place and it's a townhouse. So I share walls with my neighbors. And that's also very frustrating and stressful because it's like, what if they have a problem and they're not taking care of it? Then it's going to affect me. And so I have been continuously taking care of it in hopes that it'll make a difference. And I do think it's been making a difference. I really do. Of course, I'm saying this in April, several months later, but still. And then lastly, for this category, I spent $144 on consumables, which was basics like toilet paper, tissues, stuff from Who Gives a Crap, sponges, like blah, blah, blah. Miscellaneous was my second biggest category, mostly because of a work expense. I've been reimbursed for this, and that has zeroed out by now, so no big deal. The other thing was subscriptions, $213.95. I have tried to go without Pandora Premium, and life without it is terrible. So that's $59.42. YouTube Premium, I put off for years without ads, and then once I had it without ads, it just made the biggest difference because it allows you to play videos while your phone is locked. And I fall asleep to YouTube stories, or I don't know, I fall asleep to YouTube a lot of the time. So it's a game changer for my sleep, and it's totally worth the $152. And then this other thing was a prefix bill for $37. And I was like, what is that? Found out what it was. It's something my insurance signed me up for. I got them to refund it to me in the next month. I bought something for like a work video for $1.07, and then it didn't even end up working. So that was kind of a waste. And then I bought a case study template off of Etsy to beef up my portfolio projects, because every so often I like to update my resume and portfolio, and I think it was totally worth it. On to food, I spent $455.03. I don't remember if that's a high month for me. Maybe that's just how much I spend on food as a single person. I will tell you, yeah, I was over budget for all three categories. By junk food, I was over budget by nearly $53. I spent $175 on junk food. I had Whataburger 4 times in January, Taco Bell twice, Raising Cane's twice, things like Panda Express, Subway, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and Chipotle. So I went at it. Groceries was nearly $168. Although, I don't know, the way that I buy groceries, it seems to be the same price as like going out to eat anyway. And I shop exclusively at Walmart. So I don't know, everything's just high, and it's like per serving when I do meal boxes, or even when I just buy like those pre-made meals at Walmart, it all ends up being $8 a meal anyway. Dining out was $111. Most of it was my birthday brunch where I treated a friend, even though it was my birthday, but it's like, if I want to do something on my birthday and I want to do it with you, then because I'm the one making you go out, shouldn't I pay for that? I mean, not that I should pay for that, but it's like, if I'm really set on making it happen, then I might as well just make it happen. We tried out nearly every appetizer and dessert on the menu, plus we got drinks, and we still had an entree each. And I can only afford to do that like once a year. But I love going to a cute spot and just trying everything in sight, even if it's just one bite of this, one sip of that, two bites of this. Like, that's what leftovers are for anyway. I love just sampling an entire menu when I can. Transportation was boring and usual, and that cost $258.57, and I was actually under budget in that category. So all good there. I spent $212.77 on personal care. I do wish I had been able to spend a little bit less here. The health stuff is pretty unavoidable. That's just like medicine. So I was traveling and I had COVID while I was traveling, but I did not know that. I thought it was a cold. I'm presenting and networking at a conference, and then I felt like an idiot when I got home and tested positive. And where I was at was a resort, and resort medicine for even just one little pack of pills is so expensive. I needed so much medicine to get me through those 2 weeks where I was sick. I don't know if it was 2 weeks or 1 week. I don't know, but it felt like forever. And then I spent $130.56 on appearance. So I had bought some work pieces at Ross for $33. I got my face threaded for $30. And if I had thought ahead, I could have just gotten a $30 pedicure in Texas, but my dumbass waited till I was at the resort in Florida. It was a $67 30-minute pedicure. So lesson learned there. Get prepped before you go anywhere because it's going to be more expensive somewhere else. Giving was my smallest category at 177.77. I love when numbers repeat like that. And that was like a 60-40 split between like just being generous with friends and then charitable giving. So overall, I made more than I thought I was going to make because I never budget for gifts because nobody owes me anything. I invested pretty much what I had set out to because I had decided in December I was going to do that. I expected to be more negative in sinking funds than I was, so that is a plus. But then I also did spend more than I thought. Wait, did I spend more than I thought? It says my budget was $4,275.16. Then I go here, and it's $3,854.53. That's super weird. This budget number here and here matches, but it doesn't match here. Well, I'm glad we reviewed this because I'm going to see if there's something up with my sheet. All of my actual numbers are correct, but my expenses and my budget thing is not matching, which is like so odd. Okay, well, I'm going to figure that out off camera. But that is everything I spent and did in January. Brunch was like the highlight of my month. It doesn't look like I did anything for fun money besides that. And I'll probably end up looking over February and March too to stave off the need to spend on a Friday night because I have nothing better to do right now. I never know how to end these videos, do I? Okay, well, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.